Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today is another episode of Book Club, and the book we're going to be talking about this month is Let Them by Mel Robbins. The friend that I'm in the book club with recommended this book, and funny enough, after she recommended, Mel Robbins started to pop up all over my For You page on TikTok. I saw some clips from a podcast. I listened to her podcast. I listened to like 2 or 3 episodes maybe, and I loved what I had listened to. I had super high hopes for this book. So, I feel like this review is a little bit shorter than the rest of them, but this book, I am so sad to say, like, I didn't enjoy it that much. I think the premise of this book saying, like, let them, like, don't think too deeply into everything, I think it's perfect. I think it's a good wellness book for reminders, maybe if you are just in a season of life where you're not as focused, or maybe you're young and you need to hear some of these things for the first time. But the book is so repetitive. Like, the amount of times that she says let them in this book, it's actually kind of crazy. It was so hard, I'm not gonna lie to you. I still had like 2 or 3 more chapters left. It was just so hard to read. Like, once she made her point in the beginning of the book, I was really hoping to hear more. I don't know, just like a different approach. I've read a lot of wellness books and health and wellness books, and you know, the premise of the books tends to be the same throughout different types of books you read, but they're coming at it from a different angle. Maybe there's a different point to drive it home that's very original. This book, I cannot say that it was. It was very, very hard to get through. I am going to read a little excerpt of the book so you can understand what I'm talking about. And this is right in the beginning. It's the first chapter right after the introduction. It says, what is the let them theory? The let them theory is about freedom. 2 simple words. Let them. Will you be free from the burden of trying to manage other people? When will you stop obsessing over what other people think, say, or do? You finally have the energy to focus on your own life. You stop reacting and start living. Instead of driving yourself crazy, trying to manage or please other people, you'll learn to let them. So what does this look like? Imagine you're at work and your colleague is in a bad mood. Instead of letting their negativity affect you, you just let them. Let them be grumpy. It's not your problem. Focus on your work and how you feel. Now, that is not a terrible thing. That's not a terrible thing. But the entire book is her having a scenario in her life and then saying let them. Like, at one portion, like, all her friends went to hang out and they went on a vacation and she wasn't invited. She saw the post on Instagram. She realized she hadn't been engaging in her friendship very much, and then she says, oh, let them enjoy their time and I won't be upset. And that's how the entire book goes, and I just feel like it's not enough, you know? So yeah, this is I wish there was more to it, but it was so hard. Now, I did read majority of this book, but it was just so difficult to get through. So I am so sorry. I'm sure Mel Robbins is probably a nice person, but this book, if you're looking for a health and wellness book, or a book about productivity, or just something to kickstart you into making some positive changes in your life, I don't think this is the book, you know? And if you want recommendations for books that could help you, books that I read that I found absolutely life-changing, I will make a book. I will make a video about that, but it's hard to say that this is one of those. And I'm really sad about that, honestly. One thing about me, I do not ever like to start a book and not finish. So even if I'm not really feeling it too much, I like owe it to myself to finish the book. I personally, at the bottom of my bookshelf here, I don't have a lot of books, but a goal of mine one day is to have my own library in my home. And a personal goal for me is every time I buy a book, I read the full book, put it in my at-home library, so I can have one day eventually read all these books that are in my at-home library. So all that to say, this is a book I absolutely could not get through, and honestly, I don't think I'll plan on finishing it. So I'm so sorry. Sorry, Mel Robbins. This book is just not it. And honestly, it's really interesting because my friend and I that are in the book club, we talked about it. So we read half the book, met halfway, like when we were at the halfway point, and then we were supposed to finish the rest. So we were talking about it, and then in our first book club meeting, we're like, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is hard to get through. And then we decided that we try to keep each other accountable and finish the rest of the book. long story short, both of us kind of stopped at the same portion of it. So yeah, we decided to call it quits, girl. It was just too much. So the book for next month, well, the book that we're reading for the month of May, because it is May, honey. That was April's book. So the book that we're reading for May is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I've seen a lot of girls read these books. Like, I see girls posted on their story, TikTok videos about it. I have never read any. I'm only a little bit through. You could probably see just a few chapters. I've had a lot of travel, so maybe the month is almost over, so I'm gonna power through. But we won't be having our meeting until like the beginning of June, I think. So far, this is just much more refreshing. We decided to step away from the self-help and go in a different direction for the month of June as like a palate cleanser. Maybe we'll come back to that. So next month, I will be back with the review of Hopeless by Colleen Hoover.